got to be a child.
Hey guys, welcome to the Field Museum. I've got the regular talking here because there's a professor here telling some important information about these artifacts in the ancient Egyptian exhibit.
Had a false beard. She was depicted in her statuary with a false beard. When the pharaoh died, then the beard curved. So now here we
This
have
woman is very knowledgeable.
in the afterlife, like to God, beard. Green face, he's living forever, fragility. That could be the body. Notice the wings of a bird and the head. This
is cool, guys.
This is a 12-year-old boy. We've got him
As a child.
in 1908. And you say, well, where's his bandages? We think, and there are 80,000 stories, we think that probably without a CT scan, without an X-ray, could be a bag of rags. So that's why he was unwrapped, maybe. But you can see skin, muscles, bones, arteries and veins, but without water. Remember, 40 days, you're in that natron to dry out the water. Got a troubled foot. Notice that right foot? He walks like this. 12 years old. He also had arthritis. We can see lately we know how to do that. Then he had arthritis. Now you're saying, I know you saw cattle. You saw the cattle. They had cows, they had milk. After the age of 18 months, babies drank beer.
Babies drink beer.
A beer?
After 18 months, they drank beer?
Yes.
Yes.
And you say, why?
It was such a hard life back then. Even if you were wealthy, it was so many things that could kill you. This guy here, you can see his face pretty good.
No wrapping. And yeah, it's like fire. That could have been a very, very sad.
Hey guys, we are now in the main hall of the Field Museum, and this is Sue, the most complete Tyrannosaurus Rex skeleton ever found and put together. She has been on exhibit here for quite some time, and you can see just how big she is compared to the people standing around her. Now, the only part of her that is not her actual bones, of which they have 90% of, would be her skull. And why this is because the skull that's actually upstairs in this little case weighs over 600 pounds, and that structure that's got her bones together cannot possibly hold that much weight. Now these guys are the Savo lions. Now these lions killed over 28 people. These were man-eating lions back in the 90s. And they're maneless lions. They were all male. And as for the reason why they did this, they're really not sure. They've had a lot of theories, but no confirmed reasons. Now this is the Dunkleosteus, and it is a large-jawed fish from the Devonian period. And this, my friends, was at least the size of a great white. We're talking a major fish. Look at the teeth on that. Actually, the teeth were more like part of the jaw, but you can see just how big it was. That little thing on the lower right, that would be a human compared to this fish. That was something you want to meet up with. Now this, guys, this is a large amphibian from the Permian period. It's called Eriops, and he was about the size of a crocodile, probably the biggest predator of his time during the age of amphibians. There's a few other amphibians of pretty good size, but nothing really compared to just how big he was. This is what he looked like in the day, and yes, he would have spent most of his time in water, because just like any amphibian, he had to lay his eggs there. Now these guys, these are one of the mammal-like reptiles of the period. This is a Parliosaurus. And I don't know if you've seen the Lister store, but they're in the same type of family. They were notorious for having very mammal-like features, even though they were cold-blooded. They had teeth very much like mammals with canines. Here's another example. This would be the Dimetrodon. It was one of the sail-backed dinosaurs, or it wasn't a dinosaur actually at all. It was a reptile. And the Adaphosaurus, which was a plant-eating sail-backed keep wanting to say dinosaur, but this is what he looked like in real life. Yeah, they were not dinosaurs. A lot of people get them mistaken for dinosaurs. They were actually just reptiles. No relation. They were actually closer related to us than they would have been dinosaurs. Now over here is a Gorgonopsian. That's a Dimetrodon in life. I want to make sure I got one of those up here. He would have been one of the top predators at that time. But again, here's that Gorgonopsian. This is his skull. I don't think they have a full skeleton in the museum because it would have been a very, very rare find. But they were one of the top predators of the time. They were very much like a cat, but again, they were reptiles. As you can see, they had canines, they had molars, much like mammals. Had it not been for the Permian extinction event, they would have taken over. Now, these guys are Utahraptors. You've got a model of one next to the skeleton. Now, the thing is, guys, most likely, this guy would have had feathers. Now this, my friends, is the most famous of the dinosaurs, the Apatosaurus, or what everybody likes to call it, the Brontosaurus. And this is a Pletosaurus next to him. Now he looks like a Tyrannosaurus Rex, and the reason he does is because he's a Tyrannosaurid. He's a cousin. He's in the family. This is a Stegosaurus, or Spike. They were about elephant-sized and tiny little walnut-sized brain. They used to think that they actually had a second brain in their hip bones because there was a lot of neural tissue, almost twice as much as what was in the brain. But now they're pretty sure that's not what it was about. But these guys existed during the Jurassic period alongside of the Apatosaurus. Were around the same time. Now if you come over here, there's a good picture here. I forgot about posting that. But that's how he looked in life. Probably spent most of his time just eating. Now this here, guys, this is an interesting little animal. Actually, he's not little, but this is a juvenile titanosaur called a Repetisaurus. What's special about this, guys, is that it was a very rare find to find a juvenile. Now, obviously, the adults could get quite a bit bigger, but they knew this was a juvenile because his bones hadn't fused together. There would have been cartilage there, just like, you know, in a regular baby. It was a baby. So finding a baby was quite the find. And he actually existed during the Cretaceous period, as opposed to the Brontosaurus or Apatosaurus. But this is what he looked like in life. Yeah, most of the titanosaurs existed during the Cretaceous. When I was a kid, they didn't even think the sauropods existed during that time. Now, these two little dinosaurs are both dromaeosaurs. The bottom one is a Utahraptor, about the size of a turkey or vulture. Actually, it's called the Vulturaptor. And above him is the Deinonychus, which actually should have been used in the Jurassic Park, but he was not. This is the Utahraptor. And the Deinonychus is actually man-sized. See, Velociraptor is actually much smaller, but you see the feathers on the Deinonychus. And here again we've got the Daspletosaurus, and it looks like he's taken down a parasaur. But yeah, he was cousin to the Tyrannosaurus Rex. He was a little bit smaller, but I'm sure he was quite formidable at the time. This is what he would have looked like in life. Hard to tell the difference between that and the Tyrannosaurus Rex. And Again, he could have had some feathers on him. Now if we come around here, you see a couple more skulls. You have the Triceratops, a full skeleton there. I think right behind it you have a smaller version, what they used to think was a Torosaurus. And over here we have duck-billed dinosaurs. We have the Maiasaurus, or mother lizard. They used to find their eggs. And right next to him is the great big parasaur, one of the bigger of the duck-billed dinosaurs. And you notice they have the odd crest. They used to think they used those to help them breathe underwater until they discovered that they didn't actually live in water. That was probably for attracting mates or something like that. But I always liked these dinosaurs. They were very popular when I was a kid. Alright, I'm turning this to the right mainly because this is a Megatherium. This is a giant ground sloth. He is about 20 feet tall. It's kind of hard to get an idea of scale there. Right next to him is a Glyptodont. And I know those have been seen a lot in Ice Age. They have that, they're almost like an armadillo, but much, much bigger. That is a cave bear. You can get the idea of just how big they were. Over here is an Irish elk. If you're wondering why I'm talking so fast, they're kind of running us out of the museum at the time. But this was the biggest deer that has ever existed. It's even bigger than moose. That is a woolly mammoth. And just behind him, that is a mastodon. Smaller cousin to the woolly mammoth, but no slouch in size by any means. But these were some big animals, guys. We have I believe that was a ancient horse, and there's a jaw. Anyway, guys, I hope you enjoyed that episode. Please be sure to share, comment, like, and subscribe. And always remember, aim straight, cast long, and have fun. Bye-bye.